Hello everyone, hope you're all having a wonderful day, and today guys I'm going to be going over what I think is personally the best setup for the new Azure Glaive inside Eliza P, as well as also kind of do like my final thought on the new weapon now that I've had a lot more time to play around with it and test it a little bit more, and also touch on a lot of mechanics that I actually missed in my first video. You guys were quick to leave comments down in the section below of things that I did actually miss about this new weapon. I would like to touch on that, so I greatly appreciate the help there guys, make my job a hell of a lot easier. So I decided to play through basically the entirety of the game again, just so I could test the new weapon on a lot of different enemy varieties and also a lot of different bosses to see how it actually would perform. And all I got to say is, it's bloody amazing. So first thing is first, I'm not gonna blue ball you guys any longer than it needs to be. I'm gonna go over what I think is the best damage setup for the new Azure Glaive. Then I'll move on over to the mechanics that I did miss about this new weapon, and then move on to my final thought. I thought I'd get this out of the way first because I feel like this is probably what most people are going to want to see. Now, keep in mind, I don't actually have this to +5. One more level upgrade is gonna do wonders, considering it is already slapping bosses around like they're nothing. Now for the setup I am running, the first amulet slot is going to be whatever you are fighting against, whether it's carcasses, human, or puppets. This is what the first amulet is going to be. I've got the extreme modification amulet. This is going to increase our attack based on how many Fable Arts we have available. I'm pretty sure this is only when they're full. I think I always get that mixed up because there was so much misinformation when the game first came out. I think this only increases your attack when they're full. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But so the more Fable Art slots you have, the more damage you're going to get from this amulet. So it is, you know, kind of better when you start heading into those new game plus runs. My next amulet I am running is the Assassin's Amulet. This is going to increase our critical attack of our weapon. You're probably sitting there scratching your head, wondering why the hell have you got this on? The glaive does not have crit, you idiot. Well, one of my preferred grindstones I do like using is the crit grindstone. So you apply the crit grindstone, and now this amulet is going to be applying that damage buff when you score crits. Next amulet, absolutely no-brainer, is the Conquering Amulet. This is whenever you perfect guard an attack, you're going to get like a 30% damage increase. I know this amulet, it has a ridiculous damage increase. I think it's one of the best damage increases you can get inside Eliza P. So this is a must for just about any kind of setup or build you want to try in Eliza P. Unless you're someone that doesn't like perfect guarding, then you are going to miss out on not getting to enjoy the Conquering Amulet. Now last but not least, of course, we have the Armor God Amulet. When we get successful hits on the enemy, it is going to boost our attack. I can't remember the exact amount that this boosts you by, but obviously you need 4 stacks and then you get the maximum amount. I do think it's maybe 5% every stack. I could be wrong, maybe it's 4%, but either way, this is a very good amulet to have, especially if you have a weapon that can just deal a lot of hits very quickly. So that's basically my setup. The defensive parts, I'm just going to quickly scroll over them in just case anyone wants to know what I'm actually using. I don't really... The main objective of the game is to not get hit and slam down bosses, so as long as you don't get hit and you perfect guard everything, defensive parts are obsolete. You don't even have to worry about them. Oh my god, it is fucking hot in this room. Oh, boys. Whew. Now moving on over to the mechanics I did miss in my first video, and I appreciate you guys for dropping comments and pointing this stuff out. I mean, I would have figured it out on my own, but like I said, you guys made my job a hell of a lot easier. So the first mechanic is that when you get a perfect guard with the actual Fable dash thing that is on this weapon now, the counter deflect, you don't actually use a Fable charge. As long as you're perfect guarding, it will not consume a Fable charge. Very cool, because now you can just use this to dodge, and the best thing about it is it still doesn't use any stam. When you use Fables, it doesn't consume stamina. So as long as you're really good at using this move, you can continuously keep using it. So this is very cool that we can continuously keep doing this. You're not going to run out of Fable charges, and you're not going to deplete your stamina. Awesome. Now, there's something else that attaches to this that makes this weapon insane. This is just insane that they actually like let us do this. So on top of it not consuming a Fable a charge when we do get a perfect guard with a dash, if you follow up with a light attack, it also doesn't consume a Fable charge at all. That is so freaking cool, man. And it just opens up a lot more windows you might not have to get attacks in, because I think that attack is a lot quicker than just your normal light attack. I haven't exactly timed it, but it definitely feels a lot quicker. It definitely feels a lot quicker. So we got that compared to this. And then you're just stuck at the end, whereas you recover very quickly from this. So very, very cool move. It's insane that it doesn't cost stam. It doesn't use a Fable charge when you're getting perfect guards with the dash, and also following up with the light attack. So this weapon, if you play your cards right, it is very easy to now cheese bosses because of this counter deflect Fable. I've absolutely fallen in love with this weapon. I think for me personally, this playthrough that I've done, New Game Plus 5, this has got to be my easiest playthrough. I know I've probably played the game a lot now and I'm very familiar with the bosses, but this weapon, man, it just does too much damage, especially with the Fable charge attack that you get. You have crit on your weapon, you drop these on the boss, it starts hitting for like 10, 11k. It's just absurd how much damage actually comes out of the charge attack. The actual attack, you're supposed to use the one that does consume a Fable charge, unlike the other two actions you can perform with this weapon. So those are the two mechanics I did miss from my previous videos. So for any of you guys that haven't actually tried the weapon yet, or maybe you haven't figured this out yet on your own, you would still like to put the information out there for you guys. So that's basically it for the best setup and the mechanics I did miss. Now I do want to kind of go over like my final thoughts on the new weapon, on the patch 1.5 overall. This was a really good update. It really, really was a good update. Just when we thought we were done with Liza P, just when I thought I was done with Liza P, NeoWiz just dropped an absolute banger of an update. It was only one extra weapon, but it definitely got me to play through the whole entire game again. This weapon has got to be arguably one of the strongest weapons in the game. I still think it doesn't take top spot. I still think the crit weapons are some of the best weapons in the game, but when you do have the crit grindstone on this thing, it absolutely destroys bosses. Like I said, I've seen 10, 11k. I'll probably show you guys a clip now so you know I'm not just blowing smoke out my ass. This weapon does really hit for that much, but you know, you need a couple of things to line up for that to happen. And then the other amazing thing that NeoWiz did, and I think it goes a little undiscussed, is they actually mapped this weapon out really well. They mapped this weapon out so well. And what I mean by mapping out the weapon is that when you're in tight corridors and you're up against a wall, like this weapon is huge. This weapon is so long, you would think you're gonna ting walls, it's not gonna work in these really claustrophobic spaces. That's not the case. I gotta give credit where credit's due. NeoWiz has absolutely done a fantastic job with mapping this weapon out. I've barely noticed any scenarios where I hit a wall where I should have hit the enemy and it fucked me up. There are definitely some weapons in the game that still need to be mapped out a little bit better. I'm looking at you, GoldenEye, and the only real negative I can actually think of is that it may be a little bit too slow. That's it. It's the only negative I can think of. I really fished for that one. But overall, this update kicked ass, and this weapon kicked even more ass. I'm not sure how many updates we're going to see before the DLC gets released, but if any updates or patches do come out, I will definitely be covering them for you guys. Appreciate all the love and support as always, guys. You've been absolutely going ham on the content. Cannot thank you enough, seriously. But until next time, stay safe. Peace out.